Hey, we are outside here at Smoke and Barrel Firearms talking with Bob. Bob, thanks for the time.
You're welcome. Welcome.
I love the shop. I got to come at this at a different perspective than maybe someone has talked to you before about it. For myself, I've never actually owned a firearm, but I know the responsibility that it takes. I know the rights that I have. For someone that comes in for the first time and says, something happened with my next door neighbor. I've had a bat next to my bed all these years. Now suddenly I don't think the bat is enough. What are you going to tell me as a first-time customer?
Well, that's a fair question, and lately we've had a lot of that, so it's an honest question. First thing we're going to do is ask, is it just for home protection, or do you plan on carrying down the road? Because then it kind of gives us an idea which size pistol to get you, or possibly recommend a shotgun. We will also want to know if you've shot anything before, so we get a feeling of some experience you may or may not have. And then from there, we just start going down the path that the questions lead us.
For the CCW, in a nutshell, what does it take? Are there requirements that you have to prove that you need it? Can it something that you can just say that you want to have? How does that work?
So fortunately, in Tulare County, we're in a gun-friendly county, and our sheriff is gun-friendly. So personal protection is the most valid reason. So you say personal protection, you will most likely get it unless you have something hiding in the past.
Which is fine, I'm sure.
Which then you wouldn't pass the background for the firearm anyway. So, but yeah, personal protection, it's an 8-hour class for the first time CCW getter. And then you will have to qualify, which means shoot at a target at a set distance, and you have to hit the target to pass. Once you do that, you just turn all the information in electronically to the sheriff's department and wait for your approval.
From your personal perspective, for anyone who is a first-time gun owner, someone who has had them their entire life, how often should you go to a range and practice, and especially if it's something that you haven't had in your hands before?
So you probably all heard of muscle memory.
Yeah.
The more you practice, the more natural it will feel when and if you have to use it. So, I mean, honestly, weekly would be great. People don't generally have time for that, but it's a good practice to get into a schedule, even if it's once a month, to go out and shoot so you're familiar with how your firearm is, and that way you know if there's an issue with it as well. And then when you clean it, you can also inspect it to see if something's broken or going to go wrong there. So is there a set? Should shoot as often as you can, but it is recommended that you shoot enough to get familiar with the firearm.
How familiar are you with all the firearms that you have? You have quite a few.
I have some I've never shot, to be honest, and I have some that I shoot more often. It's a comfort level. Some I have because they were a good deal that I couldn't pass up, and then some I have because I use them for set things like a carry gun. I'll possibly one I keep in the home. Those are the ones I shoot the most, just to stay frequent with them.
How has business been for you personally since the initial lockdowns with COVID-19 and now Tulare County specifically going from purple to red and hopefully nothing but good news from this point on? How has it been?
We fared very well through the whole COVID thing. Doesn't matter what color it was, we stayed busy, and I want to thank Visay and the surrounding areas for that, for supporting the local. But it's been a little trying. We have had people wait outside, so we're limiting the amount of people in the store at one time. That got a little frustrating with weather and whatnot, but we got through it, and the customers have understood very well.
How has it been keeping product on the shelves, whether it's a popular firearm or popular ammo? How has that been for you?
That is a little bit more of a struggle. We still are the supply, or the demand got so high the supply is gone. So we are really struggling to keep ammo and handguns in stock. So it's a very fluid inventory right now.
So if someone comes in and is looking for a very popular handgun or a very popular type of ammo, I'm assuming you can get it eventually. What type of wait times can someone expect in that case?
Yeah, lead times on stuff like that it's a very unknown factor.
Okay.
We just give customers our email and say, email us 3 or 4 times a week. That way we get one in, we know who is the most persistent or who is the most willing to come and get it when we get it. We tried doing the list on a piece of paper kind of thing, and after the first couple of days we said, this is not going to work, we'll never get through it. So, yeah, it is a little trying. Generally, wait times on the more popular handguns, within 2 to 3 weeks, we can generally get something.
Is it the handguns specifically right now, or the more high-demand items, or is it the rifles or anything like that?
It's all across the board,
Really?
handguns and rifles. It's just everything has gotten so picked through and bought out. It's just manufacturers cannot keep up.
How was this something that you got into originally when you first decided? 'Cause starting any business is not easy. So what made you decide this was something that obviously you loved enough to do, and then loved it enough to actually open your own store?
So actually, it all started. I was in construction and I have back issues, and I was laid up at home one time with the back out, and I was watching TV and something about get your FFL, and I thought, I wonder if I can do that. So I filled out the paperwork, sent it in, and they gave it to me. So I was just going to do a friends and family thing out of the home and stay in construction just as a side income. But the more I got into it, it just looked like a good direction to go. And we went with it, and this may be 7 years, and it's been good.
Yeah, congratulations. What type of background did you come to it from with the appreciation and love of guns that you had before deciding to open the store?
Honestly, I didn't have a whole lot. I had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. I I respected them. I liked them. I just didn't have the money at the time when I first got married to go out and buy a bunch of guns, because they are expensive, and the wife didn't really care for the thought, so didn't want to ruin the new wedding.
I get that. So when someone comes in, again, going back to say like a first-time gun owner, and they really want X, but as a professional, probably not the model you want to start off with, but they have their heart set on that. How do you have that conversation with them and say, hey, listen, before we get to this, why don't you take this particular weapon to the range first and see how that goes?
Yeah, if it's possible, we ask if they have somebody or know somebody that owns it, that particular gun, and if they have never shot it, to ask the friend, maybe, can you take me to the range and can I shoot yours first? Because just because the friend has it and likes it and loves it and you thought it felt good, that doesn't mean you're going to like shooting it. So best case, and then there are a few ranges in the Hanford, Fresno area that rent firearms, and if possible, we recommend going there and seeing if they have that to rent as well. It's a good idea to shoot one, especially for an unknown shooter, to shoot the gun, see if you actually do like it.
With the way things are going in the county right now, with the COVID restrictions finally coming to an ease, what do you see as the future for Smoke and Barrel Firearms once we are completely wide open again? Do you see maybe another store in your future?
Maybe bigger
Okay.
store. I couldn't do two. There's not enough of me to go around. I'm a big guy, but I'm not that big. And the headache, I want to stay the family run. I want to get a little bit bigger, but I don't want to be so big that we lose touch with the customers that come in, because a lot of our customers are our friends, or they become friends, and I don't want to lose that relationship with them.
Would you at some point be interested in having like an indoor range? I know some places do offer that.
It is a possibility. We've been looking for a couple years now, trying to find a building and figure out how to work it all out. But yeah, that is something we would like to do as Smoke and Barrel Firearms.
Can you do me a favor?
What's that?
If and when that happens, can you let us know?
Absolutely.
Okay,
because I'll have to change my radio ads.
And we do appreciate those. I mean, it says that you're friendly. You obviously are. You know quite a bit about the inventory that you have. For anyone who does want to come down, get down here early so that you can stand in a shorter line, what would be your recommendation right now, the way things are with getting in the door?
Yeah, usually when we open at 10 o'clock, that's the line is the longest.
Okay.
And then, like right now, we're at a little after 11, and we're down to like 1. So the first rush is over, then we'll probably get a lunchtime rush. And then after lunch, there's a little bit of a lull, and then the 5 o'clock off of work people come in. So the last half hour is bad. So in between opening and lunch, and then after lunch is probably tends to be the less busiest time.
Well, Bob, thanks again for the time. Again, please do let us know what the future holds for Smoke and Barrel Firearms, and we'll be in touch as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.